See what you can remember from yesterday. So Sydney Spider is a tale of friendship. Once upon a time, there was a large spotted spider called Sydney who lived in the top corner of Mrs. Brown's shed. He was a very special spider because he spun beautiful golden webs. But Sydney was lonely. When he arrived last year, all the other spiders said, "Go away, Sydney. We don't want you here. You'll steal all our prey with your golden webs." So Sydney hid away in his dark corner, feeling sad. One bright sunny morning, Mrs. Brown decided to spring clean her shed. So she opened up the door and banged her broom, feather duster and dustpan down on the floor. Sydney and all the other spiders in the shed shivered in fear. Soon, Mrs. Brown started to sing "Incy Wincy Spider" at the top of her voice, and Sydney shivered a bit more. Then Mrs. Brown picked up her broom and started to sweep. Swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. Sydney looked down from his deep, dark corner and saw Mrs. Brown's broom coming closer and closer and closer. Swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. "Help!" cried Sydney. "Help me, please." Luckily, Susie, a tiny house spider, heard him. "I'm in the old flower pot behind the spade," squeaked Susie. "Throw out your line and come and hide with me." So Sydney threw out a fine golden thread and landed gently in Susie's flower pot. "Thank you, Susie," said Sydney, smiling. A few minutes later, Sydney and Susie heard swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. Oh no! Mrs. Brown's broom was heading for the flower pot. "Help!" cried Sydney and Susie. "Please help us." Luckily, Stanley, an ancient spider, heard them. "I'm in the red welly boot under the bench," mumbled Stanley. "Throw out your line and come and hide with me." So Sydney threw out a fine golden thread and grabbed Susie. Together they landed with a gentle thump in the old red welly boot. "Thank you, Stanley," said Sydney and Susie, smiling. A few minutes later, Sydney, Susie, and Stanley heard swish, swash, swish, swash, swish, swash. Oh no! Mrs. Brown's broom was heading for the red welly boot. Mrs. Brown bent over to pick up the boot, but luckily her phone rang at that very moment. "I will come immediately," they heard her say. So Mrs. Brown picked up her broom, her feather duster and dustpan, and rushed out of the door. "Hooray!" said Sydney, Susie, and Stanley. "Come on, everyone, let's have a party," they said. So all the other spiders crawled out of their holes. First, they all shook one of Sydney's legs to welcome him. Next, they danced a special spider dance in the middle of the shed. After that, Sydney knew he would never be lonely again. Oh, promised you some questions. Quiz time. Question number 1. So if you're wanting to write your answers, get your pencil and bit of paper. You might just want to talk to your grown-up about your answers, or you might just want to shout them at me. Question number 1. Where did Sydney live at the start of the story? Did you get it? That's right, he lived in the top corner of Mrs. Brown's shed. Question number 2. Why was Sydney a special spider? If you're not sure, pause and go and have a look at the story. That's right, it's because he spun golden webs. That'd be good, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind having Sydney in my house. Question 3. Why didn't the other spiders like Sydney? Can you remember? That's right. They thought that he would catch all of their prey with his golden webs. Question 4. What song did Mrs. Brown like to sing? She was singing it while she was cleaning, wasn't she? Can you remember what it was? That's right. Incy Wincy Spider. Well done. Why did Sydney shiver with fear? It's a tricky one. Is it because he was scared of getting swept away by the broom? Question number 6. Why do you think Mrs. Brown rushed out of the shed? What made her leave the shed? She was busy cleaning. Something happened and then she rushed out. That's right, she got a phone call. Sounded important, didn't it? And question 7. What made Sydney happy at the end of the story? And how do you know? That's right. They all had a little party and all the other spiders welcomed Sydney to the shed. And he wasn't going to be lonely anymore. So he was going to be happy. Excellent work. Well done. We have one final task for today, and that's exploring some words. There are some words in this story that might have been a little bit tricky, so we need to know a little bit more about them. Sometimes it helps to say them over and over again in different ways. So the first one we're going to look at is this one here. This word is ancient. Now, that's a hard one to sound out. Ancient. The ancient means something that is very old. Even older than us grown-ups. Hard to believe, isn't it? Now, can you have a look around your house after this and see if you can find 4 things in your house that are ancient? Might need to ask your grown-ups for some help there. And don't touch anything that you know you're not supposed to. The next word we're going to look at is this one here. Pray. Now, it's spelled a little bit differently than pray that you might do in church. This pray, with the eh sound there, pray, is an animal that is hunted or killed for food. So what do you think the spider's prey was? What do spiders catch in their webs to eat? Do you know? They catch flies and other little insects, don't they? And that's what they eat for their dinner. Don't think I would fancy that much. Have a little think, and can you name 4 animals that hunt for their prey? So 4 animals that hunt for their prey. That is your task for today. So hopefully I will see you later on, or maybe you'll be back tomorrow for our next instalment of Sydney Spider.